Hello, friends. Think about how incredibly loud, chaotic, and noisy the world is today, and how much energy it steals from you every single second of your life. Every single minute of every single day, your phone buzzes with a new message, a new alert, a new email, or a new video that you did not ask for. People everywhere you look are fighting to show off their lives to people they do not even know. They post pictures of their food, their new clothes, their cars, and their fake happy moments just to get a few likes from strangers on the internet. We have all been taught a very big and very dangerous lie since we were little children. We are told by our teachers, our friends, and the television that to be successful, you have to be loud. We are told that you must show everyone how great you are. You must wear clothes with big names on them. You must drive a car that makes a loud noise. And you must constantly tell the whole world about your big plans for the future. But if you stop looking at the loud, flashy people and start looking very closely at the richest, most powerful, and most successful people in the world, you will discover a massive, life-changing secret. True wealth is built in complete and total silence. The most successful people do not shout. They do not brag to their neighbors about how much money they make. They do not need you or anyone else to know how much money they have in the bank. They use silence as a powerful tool to protect their energy, keep their focus clear, and build their huge dreams while everyone else is distracted by silly videos and empty drama. The very first habit you must learn if you want to be truly rich and free is the silence of intention. This simply means you must stop telling people your goals and keep your big dreams completely secret. When you get a great idea for a new business, a new project, or a new life plan, your first human thought is to run and tell your family and your friends. You want them to be proud of you. When you tell them, and they say you are so smart and so brave, your brain feels very happy. Your brain releases chemicals that make you feel exactly like you already did the hard work and succeeded. But the hard truth is, you did absolutely nothing yet. Because you feel that fake happiness and that fake reward too early, you lose the fire and the drive to actually do the hard, boring, and painful work that makes the goal come true. You talk about the finish line before you even start the race, and so you never actually run. Think of a deep story about two brothers, Julian and Victor. They grew up in the same house and they both wanted to build a big real estate business and become very rich so they could take care of their family forever. Julian wanted everyone to know he was going to be a rich boss. He told everyone his plans at every party. He went into debt to buy fancy business cards he could not afford. He went to expensive dinners and talked very loud about the big, tall buildings he was going to buy and the rich people he was going to work with. He spent all his daily energy trying to look like a winner to other people. Because he spent all his time talking and showing off, he never had the time or the focus to learn how real estate actually works. And very soon, he lost all his money and had to go back to a normal, boring job without ever buying a single property. Victor did the exact opposite. He understood the massive power of staying completely quiet. He moved into a cheap, tiny room on the bad side of town. He did not tell his friends what he was doing. When they asked, he just smiled and said he was working on some small things. While Julian was out at loud parties spending money, Victor stayed awake very late into the cold night, reading boring papers, studying the market, learning how bank loans work and saving every single penny he could find. He kept his big dream locked tightly inside his chest like a treasure in a safe. He let the desire burn him up inside, and he used that uncomfortable burning feeling to work even harder when he was tired. When he finally had enough money saved up, he quietly bought broken properties that no one else saw value in. He fixed them up slowly. He became deeply rich because he kept his mouth shut. He protected his dream, and he did the hard work in the dark, where nobody could see him or judge him. You need to do the exact same thing starting today. Keep your goals locked safely inside you. Do not let the noisy world steal your energy before you even take your first step. The second habit you must learn and practice every day is the silence of consumption. Our human minds are like big, thirsty sponges. They soak up whatever we put near them, whether it is clean water or dirty water. Today, we fill our minds with absolute junk all day long. We watch angry news stories that are made just to make us scared and angry. We listen to people at work complain about their jobs, their bosses, and their lives. We waste hours and hours staring at screens, watching silly videos that teach us nothing and only make us feel bad about our own normal lives. The richest people in the world protect their minds, like a king protects his castle with a big wall and a strong army. They know that if you put garbage into your brain, you will get garbage results in your life and your bank account. They treat their brain like a highly secure bank vault. They only let good, useful, positive, and powerful information inside. You have to stop wasting your precious, limited time on daily drama that has nothing to do with your future. If you want to think clearly and find great ideas that can make you wealthy, you need quiet time. You must force yourself to spend time completely alone. Turn off your phone. Turn off the television. Turn off the radio in your car. Sit in a quiet room and just let yourself think. At first, this will feel very hard and very scary because you are so used to the constant noise. Your brain will beg for a distraction. But if you sit through that hard part, when your mind is finally quiet and still, the best and smartest ideas will rise to the top. Think of your mind like a glass of muddy water. If you keep shaking it with news and noise, it stays muddy and you cannot see through it. But if you leave it alone in silence, the dirt falls to the bottom, the water becomes perfectly clear, and you can see everything. The third habit you must master is the silence of emotion. Life is very hard and it is often very unfair to good people. Things will go wrong. Businesses will fail. Markets will crash. People you trust will cheat you. You will lose money. When these bad things happen, most average people panic immediately. They cry, they shout, they get very angry, they blame everyone else, and they make terrible, fast choices because they are scared of losing everything. But a true master of wealth stays completely calm and silent. When something bad happens to a silent billionaire, they do not scream and they do not rush. They step back, they stay quiet, and they look at the cold, hard facts without any tears or anger. They know that acting out of anger or fear will only ruin a good plan and make the problem much worse. You have to learn to stay completely still when everything around you is going wrong and falling apart. Do not react right away when someone makes you mad or when you lose a deal. Take a deep, slow breath. Stay quiet. Turn off your feelings for just a moment and ask yourself what the smartest, most logical next step is. This silent calmness will make you unbeatable. Because while everyone else is running around screaming and making mistakes, you will be standing still, thinking clearly, and finding the perfect way to win. If you practice these first 3 habits of silence, you will build a mind so strong that nothing in the outside world can ever break you or stop you from reaching your goals. And friends, for a moment, please like and subscribe to our channel. So, when you finally learn to be quiet, strong, and deeply peaceful on the inside, you must bring that powerful silence to the outside world where you deal with other people and build your wealth. This brings us to the 4th major habit, which is the silence of association. Society always tells us that we need to be popular to be successful. We are told to make as many friends as possible, to go to every single party, to shake hands with everyone in the room, and to hand out our phone numbers to every stranger we meet. But billionaires do not do this at all. They are very, very careful about who they allow into their lives and who gets to hear their thoughts. They know a simple, hard truth. The people you spend your time with will either lift you up to the sky or pull you down into the mud. If you spend all your time with people who are lazy, who complain about the world, who watch television all weekend, and who waste money on silly things, you will slowly become exactly like them without even noticing it. The very rich keep a tiny, quiet circle of very smart, hard-working, and positive people. They do not show off their friends online, and they do not care about being the most popular person in the room. Let me tell you a long story about a very smart woman named Eleanor. She grew up very poor in a bad neighborhood, but she had a massive dream to become a great investor and own many businesses. As she started reading books and learning about how money actually works, she realized her loud, complaining friends were keeping her poor and stuck. They only wanted to talk about their plans for the weekend, spend money they did not have on drinks and clothes, and complain about how their bosses were mean to them. Eleanor realized she had to use the silence of association if she wanted to save her own life. She did not fight with her friends. She did not yell at them or tell them they were wrong or stupid. She just quietly walked away. She started spending her time completely alone, sitting quietly in nice, expensive hotel lobbies and quiet library cafes where smart, wealthy business people went to drink coffee and read. She felt very sad and lonely at first because she had no friends left. But she knew this lonely period was completely necessary for her future. She did not bother the rich people. She did not beg them for money or ask them for jobs. She just sat in silence, watched how they acted, listened to the calm way they spoke, and learned from their peaceful energy. Over a long time, she quietly shared her good, helpful ideas with a few of them when the time was perfectly right and when she could actually help them solve a problem. She built a powerful, wealthy network of high-level friends without ever being loud, annoying, or desperate. You must do this too. You must have the brave courage to quietly walk away from people who hold you back and make you feel bad. You must learn to be completely okay with being lonely for a long while, until you find the right people who want to talk about ideas, growth, and wealth instead of other people. The 5th habit is the silence of execution. Most average people think that hard work means sweating, running around, and always looking busy so the boss can see them. They think that if they work with their bare hands for 10 or 12 hours a day, they will eventually get rich. But this is a terrible trap. If you trade your time for money, You will stop making money the very second you go to sleep, get sick, or take a vacation. You will be a slave to the clock forever. Rich people know that real, lasting wealth is completely silent. Real wealth is built by creating smart systems that do the hard work for you all the time, even when you're not looking. You have to stop trying to be the busiest, loudest person in the room. Instead, be the quiet builder in the background. If you work a normal job from 9 to 5, use your silent evenings and early mornings to build something that belongs only to you. Write a helpful book, build a simple piece of software, start a small online store, or save up to buy a small house that you can rent out to a good family. Build things that quietly make money for you all day and all night. Imagine the beautiful, warm feeling of waking up in the morning, sitting in a quiet room with your cup of coffee, looking at your phone, and knowing that you made money while you were sleeping deeply in your bed. This is how the wealthy actually live their lives. They do not work loud, and they do not break their backs. They own silent systems, machines, and investments that do the heavy lifting for them. The final and most advanced habit is the silence of legacy. Most normal people have a deep fear of being forgotten after they die. Because they are scared, they want to be famous. They want their names printed in big gold letters on tall buildings. They want everyone in their town to know how great, how smart, and how rich they are. They buy huge cars and shiny watches just to prove to strangers on the street that they have value. But the truly wealthy people, the ones who have completely mastered life and their own minds, do not care about being famous at all. They know that real power is completely invisible. They know that fame brings jealousy, danger, and noise. They build huge charities, fund hospitals, and create companies that will help the world for hundreds of years long after they are dead. And they often do it in total secret. They donate millions of dollars without ever putting their name on the check. They do not need poor people to clap for them. They do not need you to know their name because they quietly own the ground you walk on. And they are deeply happy just knowing they did good, powerful work that changed the world. Now it is time for you to make a final, life-changing choice. The loud, busy, showing off, and average life is a trap designed by society to keep you tired, distracted, and poor forever. But you are reading this right now because you know deep down in your heart that you are meant for something much better and much bigger. You have the power to stop being loud. You have the power to stop caring about what other people think of your clothes, your car, or your job. You must stop asking the loud world for permission to be great. The old, average, scared version of you is completely gone now. Take a deep, slow breath. Turn your back on the loud noise of the crowd, step into the peaceful shadows, and go build your beautiful, massive dream in complete, unbreakable, and powerful silence.